You got something to say. Hi, my name's Jason.
I'm Carmen.
And we're from Elevated Experience Camping at Willey West Campground, where we're promoting Alberta camping.
And Alberta Glamping.
So today we're going to do a video on our 5 annoying goats. But as you're chewing my jacket, don't eat my jacket.
Yeah.
So you'll hear some bang and
Some stories about our goats, because these guys are all part of the experience down at Elevated Experience Camping, as we do offer goat yoga through the camping season. Oh yes, hi buddy.
So this video is going to be a little different. We're going to start off with our fun fact and a quote, and then we're going to introduce you to the goats, and then throw in some fun facts about goats all the way through the video. All right? Oh yes. So you want to start off with our quote, or do you want to do the stat or the?
I will do that fun fact.
Perfect. So our quote is, "We know goats are important because they don't speak English." Right?
That's right. And our fun fact is actually, people usually comment that goats will eat absolutely anything, and it's actually not true. They're quite picky eaters. And I can, for one, tell you that, because we were told, oh yeah, they're great grass feeders, but if they're not actually brought up right from the beginning as grass feeders, they're not. So we have to mow their pen because they're too prima donna to eat the grass. Also, our goats will not drink well water, believe it or not.
Nope. So we actually bring in bottled water for the
goats.
prima donna goats, and so every 4 days I go and purchase bottled water, and yeah, so that's the way it is.
So they can be quite finical. So, all right. So maybe we'll just start off by introducing them and giving you a little bit about their characters. So
Let's start with one, and then we'll do some fun facts.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect.
So I don't know. So this is Lopper. Lopper is a Norwegian pygmy dwarf goat. She is one of my smaller girls. Her sister Nirvana is a little smaller than her, but she is very, very easygoing. So goat yoga, often we do a move where it's tabletop and the goats will jump on your back. And Lopper was a star at posing for that, right, sweetheart? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Lopper's very easygoing. She kind of just goes with the flow. With her pack here, she's not very outspoken. Very smart though. Our goats actually walk and put themselves in our vehicle to go yoga. We don't even have to do anything anymore. Because you're smart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Lopper. And so all of our animals actually are named after some kind of musical thing. So as Mom loves 80s music, Lopper is after Cyndi Lauper. And that's why you're trying to eat my red hair, right? Because you're like, I need some red hair.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Lopper. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
So I'm going to give a easy trivia question to you, Carmen.
Sure.
So we got a bunch here. So let's try this one. What is a goat?
A mammal?
A goat is, you're correct, they are mammals, but the goat is the domestic goat is a subspecies of goat domesticated from the wild goat of southwestern Asia and Eastern Europe.
Yes. When Jason and I first got goats, stop eating Mom's hair.
And you're eating my jacket too.
We learned that goats were actually the very first animal that humans domesticated, which is true. And we also learned that when you become a goat mama, if you spend about 2 to 3 weeks in closed quarters with them and really socialize them, they can almost be like dog-like. As you can see, my little pack here doesn't seem too bothered. And so they become quite domesticated, hey?
And I'm going to ask you one more quick question.
Sure.
All right. How many different distinct breeds of goats are there?
I'm going to say 6.
Well, you would be slightly off the mark. There's over 300 different distinct breeds. So yes. And who do you want to bring up next?
So
let's bring up the village turd.
So this is Flea. Come here, Flea.
There we go. Oh, he's.
So,
my.
so Flea, I know you're probably like, who calls a goat Flea, right? And let's tell this story. Is when we were picking out names, because Flea is the one of the guitar players off the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I said to Jason, "Is it mean to call a goat Flea?" And then we happened to be watching a video of our goats because they sent us weekly videos before they were old enough to come home. And as I said that, Flea came on to the video and tripped over his feet and fell on his face. So what did we decide? You are a Flea. Hmm?
Yeah.
And so he is the most loyal, sweet, non-smart goat we have in the group.
But he like Carmen said, he's very loyal. You'll see him. You'll see all the goats currently chewing. So that's called chewing their cud. In case they're not actually. Well, they're chewing stuff in their mouth, but they. And now they're walking everywhere. But it's all good. We're so that's just so you know. Oh, what's on? This is Dusty. Perfect. So you want to do a couple more questions, or do you?
Sure.
Do you have what else? What else is really cool about Flea?
He has blue eyes.
That he does.
So Flea is also a Norwegian pygmy
Dwarf.
And how you know that they're mixed actually is Norwegians, because some people will say they have pygmy dwarfs, but if they have blue eyes, that means they have some Norwegian in them. And Flea has beautiful blue eyes.
Yeah. Oh.
Hello.
Perfect. All right.
And as you can see, they don't like when each other gets more attention.
Perfect. Let's ask you another question here. What are female goats called?
Duelings.
No.
Does.
Does.
Yeah.
You were right. And what are male intact males called?
Weathers.
No, bucks.
Bucks.
Perfect. Oh yes. Oh yes.
right.
All right. So I'm going to bring up another one here. Should we bring up the jerk? He's chewing my jacket.
Yep. Okay, Flea,
Perfect.
back it up.
Come here. So he's not going to like this very much because he is a little skid. Oh, now he's just going to lay down on me. Perfect. So this is BB King.
He's our biggest goat.
By far. He has one horn because one was nubbed at the beginning and didn't quite get the second one. So he's a little off-centered, but he is by far our biggest jerk of a goat. And
whiniest.
Oh my goodness.
So think of the movie Dumb and Dumber. And when they're like, what is the most annoyingest sound in the world? Bing! BB, that's how he baz.
Yeah.
Right to the bitter end of annoyance.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. Oh yeah, but he's such a good boy, hey? Yes. He is also a Norwegian pygmy dwarf. The four of them are siblings.
Yep.
And then one we will show you is not. And
though BB has same mom, different dads. So he's actually, although he's quite a bit bigger than the other goats, he is only a week older.
yeah,
Okay?
perfect. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh,
He tries to act real tough,
but he's a big suck.
but he is a big suck.
Yeah, big suck. So I do spend quite a bit of time in here with them when I'm not camping. We like to play with them. They do not like the winter so much. They like to stay in their barn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but we have a full jungle gym outside for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, goats are really smart, and actually through the summer when I'd come home and feed them, they're so smart that they knew the sound of my vehicle. So as soon as I turned into our driveway, I would see this little, and they form a line path coming to the door to greet me, being like, "Mom's home, feeding time." Since it's gotten cold, I can hear them. I have barely seen them leave the four walls of their barn.
Yeah, they do play outside though once in a while.
Yeah,
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to ask you a couple more questions.
perfect.
Let's go with goats reach puberty at what age?
8 months.
You're pretty close. So it's anywhere between 3 and 15 months. So you're right on the mark.
Nice.
And let's ask one more. Oh, thanks. Goats will not actually eat what?
Mom's hair.
Well, no, they won't eat inedible materials.
Oh.
So, all right. So who do you have here? Oh, yes. You just wanted attention. Don't you?
This is our baby. So this is Nirvana. She is the goat that has the most black on her. She is the tiniest. And for the most part, she's kind of the skittish. You hardly ever hear a peep out of this one. Very rarely.
So on a note with Nirvana, her and BB King are super tight. He likes to headbutt her and
Play with her?
like protect her, but he doesn't like her to be around anybody else. But yeah, but she is one of the smallest.
Chunky is what I'd say right now.
They're all a little chunky because it's winter and they're on a little extra hay right now just to keep
them warm.
keep them warm.
Yeah. Oh, see, yeah, Mom.
What else do you?
So, Nirvana also is a Norwegian pygmy dwarf, and like we said, she's the most black. She's the tiniest of all of them, and she is definitely by far the most skittish. Although she has really come around in the last couple months, and if you put her like this and sit her on your lap, she'll stay, and she's so quiet. Like you hardly ever hear this one bath. She just kind of goes with the flow a little bit. Hey. Yeah.
That is.
And so she has brown eyes. She's not like her brother. So actually, Flea and Lopper have the two blue eyes, and then BB and Nirvana have the brown eyes. Yeah.
Perfect. And Carmen, with the goats and goat yoga, how many people were we having in classes in the spring?
So for goat yoga, we can do up to about 10 people in a class. That's twofold. One, so everybody gets a chance to cuddle and enjoy the goats. And two, that there's not so many people that it startles the goats or makes it too stressful for them. Because again, we're looking for a positive experience for both the goats and the patrons. And so we had open classes that, again, like we said, up to 10 people. And then actually halfway through the season, we started offering private sessions because goats are animals and they could possibly be unpredictable. We couldn't have anybody in there 12 and under.
In the public class.
In the public class. So, but in a private class, because the parents aren't, it's just the parents or the adults with the kids and they know them, we started offering some private classes, which also went over really, really well. So, yeah.
Perfect. And I'm going to ask you one more set of questions here. Let's see what we got. What will goats chew on and taste?
Anything that looks good to them.
Pretty much anything that looks like plant matter. They will eat it, or not eat it, but taste it at least. And then dairy goats generally produce how much milk? So on that note, none of our goats are dairy goats.
Or meat goats or breeding goats.
Yeah, so
they're purely lazy yoga goats.
Yoga goats. We're gonna start a new breed, yoga goats.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be. And as you're tasting my paper, thank you very much. So again, Carmen, how much?
I have no idea.
No, so it's between 15 and 4,000 pounds of milk per 305 days of lactation.
Wow,
I had
that's
no.
crazy.
Maybe we should get into the milking. Maybe we can milk all the time. So I want to introduce Panic. Panic is probably, sorry guys, my favorite. BB King is, I did get to name BB King, but Panic and me, I don't know, we're kind of a little, I treat her like my my puppy.
So why is Panic's name Panic?
Because she is a fainting goat. So she has fainted twice. And that is for Panic at the Disco, but it's yeah, they stiffen up. We don't like to get her scared. So
because it is hard on their systems. But yeah, she once actually at Goat Yoga was trying. We have a chair there for staff and that, and she tried to jump in it, and she missed her mark, and it scared her, so she stiffened up and flipped backwards. And then once with you, Jason,
yeah,
right?
yeah, she was in the barn, and I startled her. I was raking, and she must not have heard me or something, and she panicked and boop, boop, and on the ground she went. So, hi, BB. Why are you taking my zipper again? But panic is not related at all to the other four. She is 100% her own breed, and she was born as a grass eater. So where the other ones were raised on hay, she was raised on grass. She does eat hay now, and she will eat grass all year long. Where the other ones will pick at it now. They see her doing it, but as far as is that jacket good? Mm-hmm. Because I would like it back, please. Thank you. They see her doing it, but they could really care less about it. So
yeah, and Panic actually came. She was the last one to come. So we had the other four goats about 2.5 weeks before she came, and they adopted her really well. And to be honest, she is kind of the ringleaders. Phoebe likes to think he's the ringleader, but he's not. He's the wannabe. She runs the roost. If things are gonna happen, it's on her.
Her watch.
Yeah, so she usually leads the pack when they come out to meet us, and she will voice her concerns. I always say when I come out, I can hear her first, and I'm like, oh, she's voicing her daily complaint list for me.
Yeah.
But so she is the most vocal one, but not in a bad way. It's really that she's happy. We constantly get told by our vet that we have some of the happiest, quietest, manhandled goats she's ever seen.
So yeah, they get a good.
So although this does look fun, not every goat would be this docile and domesticated like you see these guys. It does take a lot of work to do this. It's not simple.
Nope. I do want to give a shout out to Board Acres, mm-hmm. where the other four came from. They are a phenomenal breeder. Mm-hmm. They really care, and you can see the passion for goats they have. It is, but I wanted to give a shout out to Board Acres Farm out of Sunnybrook.
Yeah. And I also wanted to say actually that all of our goats are actually registered goats too, so they're 100% of what their breed is. So, yeah. And the reason that we chose to go that route is sometimes when you mix breeds, like we all know, it is harder to distinguish temperaments, and so all of our goats are actually registered.
Perfect. So should we do 2 more questions,
Sure.
and then we'll sign this video off? Perfect. So let's see what I got here, Carmen. Ready? And we're going to do, because I didn't bring my glasses. Why are the horns often removed in commercial dairy and goating herds?
So they can't hurt each other butting the heads.
Well, more or less, yes, you're exactly right. It's not to hurt each other or the humans. Because none of our goats really headbutt.
BB does sometimes, but next year, just because Panic's horns are a little bigger, and just because sometimes they get spooked, we're actually going to put tennis balls on her. We saw, and so I can hardly wait to do that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And one more thing. How high, as an adult, how high does the African pygmy stand? We don't have Africans.
No.
But
4 feet.
16 to 23 inches.
Oh, so really?
Really tiny. We might have to look at some of those.
All right.
Well, so my name is Jason.
I'm Carmen.
And we're from Elevated Experience Camping, where we're promoting Alberta camping and Alberta glamping.
And go yoga today.
Come do goat yoga. It is one of the most relaxing it's 90% mental health, 10%
Yoga.
and 100% fun.
And 100% cuddles.
Yeah. The struggle is real. Hey? Happy camping. Take care.